Hello everyone, welcome back. You're watching the Data Labs. My name is Dilip. In this tutorial, we will learn how to transfer data from MS Excel to Google Sheet, and we will utilize Google Sheet as a centralized database to store data. So here Google Sheet will work as a database so that we do not need to worry about multi-user environments, and it will virtually work on any platform. It also provides feasibility to work from anywhere. We will also create a Google form so that you can either use Microsoft Excel form or Google form to transfer the data. Hence, you can use this ecosystem on any of the platform or devices. To develop this fully automated data entry solution, we will utilize Microsoft Excel and Google Form as a front end, and Google Drive and Google Sheet as a backend to store data. This tutorial is going to be very useful and full of learning. So please watch this video till end to understand all the technicalities and coding. It will help you in developing a complex and dynamic data entry solution for your office or personal use. I have divided this tutorial into 3 different parts to make this tutorial more interactive. In the first part, we will cover how to create a data entry form in Excel and write the code to reset and initialize the form. In the second part, we will focus on creating Google Sheets, Google Form, linking Google Form with Google Sheet, and getting pre-filled link of Google Form. And in the last part of this tutorial, we will cover the logic and coding of transferring data from Microsoft Excel to Google Sheets. So let's start with the first part of tutorial. Let us move to the Excel application and create a new workbook. Let's save this file with the name MS Excel to Google Sheet.xlsm. Let's create a home page so that we can insert a button over here so that user will click on that button to launch the form. So let's design the home page basically. So now we have created home page with launch button. Let's move to the Visual Basic application window to design the user form and write the code to reset the form controls. So to open the Visual Basic application window, just click on Developer tab, and then under Code Group just click on Visual Basic. Now we are in the Visual Basic window, as we are going to develop this application to transfer data from Microsoft Excel to Google Sheet. This macro requires a reference to Microsoft XML version 6.0. Basically, Microsoft XML version 6.0 will help us in performing web queries to get and submit data through Visual Basic application code. In the absence of reference, we will not be able to proceed any queries. So this is very important to add this reference in our project. So to add the Microsoft XML version 6.0 reference, just click on the tools menu and then click on references. So once you click on references, it will open the references VBA project window, and in available references you can find a lot of reference available in this particular list. So just find the Microsoft XML. Okay, so here you can see that this is the Microsoft XML v6.0. Just tick this and click on OK. So now we have added the reference, the required reference. Let's insert a module. So basically in this project we are going to write two separate sub procedure. First would be to reset the form controls, and second would be for performing like sending data from Excel worksheet to Google Sheets. To write this procedure we will utilize module as code container. So let's add a blank module. To insert a blank module, just click on insert tab, menu over here, and then click on module. Let's keep the name module 1 as it is, and here we will write all those codes like the two procedures, the important procedure for our project. One is for reset and second one is for transferring the data from Excel sheet to Google Sheet. So to make this application user friendly, we are going to utilize a user form to get the inputs from user and transfer it to Google Sheets. So to design the data entry form, let's insert a blank user form in our project. So just click on insert menu and then click on user form. So now you can see that this is the blank user form has been inserted in our project, and this is our project window. Here you can see that we have module, we have user form, and we have already added the reference that is called Microsoft XML version 6.0. So now we have added all those required controls and references in our projects. So let's start designing the user form first. So in this data entry form we are going to consider 6 different fields, and the field would be employee ID, employee name, gender, designation, and address. So apart from these input controls, we will create two different command buttons on our form. First would be add button. Like with the help of that button, user will be able to add the data. You can see that you can transfer the data from this form to Google Sheet. And the second would be reset button. So keeping the requirement in our mind, let us design the user interface and set the required properties of user form and the form controls. Okay, so first of all let's set the user form properties. Just select this form and let's expand the height of properties window here and change the name from user form to user form 1 to FRM form. Okay, and the caption would be transfer data from Excel to Google. Okay, so now you can see that caption is reflecting here. Let's put the toolbox over here. Now change the height. So height would be 279. So here you can see that 2, let's type 279, and the width would be 306. So these are the standard height and width which I am considering. You can consider different height and width as per your requirement. Okay, and now let's change the back color of this form. So let's move on top of the properties window, and here you can see that back color. So let's select the back color, maybe this one. Now let's insert a frame over here. So in toolbox you can find frame. This is the frame. Okay, just click on the frame and draw a frame over here. Okay, now let's change the caption of a frame. So the frame caption should be data entry form. So here you can find the caption in properties window. So let's change it data entry form. Okay, and now we need to change the font color and font size. So here just click on select on font. Let's move it here and keep the font name Tahoma, and that should be regular. Let's change the size, that should be 10, and let's change the font color, that should be white. So can select here. Okay, let's insert all those text box option buttons for gender and combo box for designation. So let's start with the employee ID. So for employee ID, we are going to consider text box. So first of all, let's insert a label for all those 6 fields which we are going to consider here. So let's click here, and that should be label 1. Just copy this and paste it for employee name, and then this is for gender, and again control V, and this would be for designation, and control V, and this the last label should be for address. Okay, so let's change the caption of each and every label. So employee ID, and the second would be employee name. Let's select the third label, change the label gender, and the fourth would be designation, and the fifth would be address. Okay, so now we have done with the labels, all those required labels like employee ID, employee name, gender, designation, and address. Okay, let's insert the text box for employee ID, employee name, and address. So let's select this text box and just insert a text box over here, and then copy the text box and paste it for employee name, and again the last text box would be for address. So let's change the properties of text box like employee ID text box. So the name would be txt employee ID, and the height would be let's change the height. So height would be 20, and the width would be 168. Okay, we need to adjust. Okay, let's change the height and width for employee ID as well. So first of all, let's change the name. So the name would be txt emp employee name, and the width height should be 20, and width should be 168. Okay, let's select the address, the text box, change the name, that would be txt address. So the height would be 42, and the width should be 168 here. And because we are going to utilize this for address, so there will be high possibility that user will use some multi-line entry over here. So let's multi-line should be true here, and let's add a scroll bar. In case user will enter more information, there should be some scroll bar like horizontal and vertical scroll bar, so that will be automatically appear if text the text value will be exceeded, and the length of like height and width of this text box. So let's select this. Okay, press Ctrl S to save the changes. Now we need to insert 2 option button for gender. So let's select the option button, and let's okay, let's copy this option button and replicate this for second. Like for male, let's select the first one and change the name, and that would be opt female. Okay, and female, let's select the first one, the second one, the male, that should be opt male, and the caption should be male. Okay, now the pending part for user entry is designation. So we are going to utilize combo box for designation. So let's select this combo box from toolbox and insert a combo box over here. Okay, so let's change the name the name would be CMB designation. Okay, and the height would be 20, same as the text box height, and the width should be 168. And let's okay, so we have ideally, I think we should move this a little bit upper. Okay, now let's move the text box here. Now that's done. So we have done with all those input controls. Let's insert two buttons. One is for add and one is for reset. So let's click over here and move to the properties window and change the name as CMD add, and the caption would be add. Okay, and the accelerator key should be A. Now you can see that A has been underlined. Let's reduce the size. Let's copy the add button and replicate it for reset. Okay, so let's select the second one, move to properties window, and the name would be CMD reset, and here the accelerator key should be R and the caption would be reset. Okay, so now we have done with all those controls like add and reset over here. Let's keep it over here, reset. Let's run this form. So now you can see that it's looking beautiful. Let's close this form. So let's move to module 1. So let's start writing sub procedure to reset the form. So sub reset and create some room over here. Let's reduce the size because we do not require the properties windows anymore. So let's make it yes. So as let's start with frm form and end with. Let's remove this unwanted space and let's write the code within the block with and end with. So dot first of all txt employee id that value is equal to blank dot txt employee name dot value is equal to blank again dot txt address dot value is equal to blank. So this is all about the text box. The next is option button. So let's opt female dot value is equal to false, opt male dot value is equal to false. So now we have done with the option button, that is like for gender, male and female. Let's write the code to clear the data from designation, combo box designation. So dot cmb designation dot clear. So it will clear all those items which are available in the combo box, and let's add all those required items. So here I am going to consider a couple of designation. So cmb designation dot add item, and you just need to press space over here, and in double quote you just need to provide the designation. So executive. Let's copy this this line of code and replicate this for other designation. Okay, so let's change the designation here. So that should be senior executive, and then the third one would be team leader, and then manager, senior manager, associate, director, and the last would be director. So these are the designations which I am going to consider in our form. Okay, so we have done with employee ID, employee name, address, male, female, and designation. So we have done with all this code to reset the form. Let's move to FRM form window here, and let's click on the code, view code for this particular form. Now select the initialize event. So just click the initialize and delete the user form underscore click. We don't require anymore. Okay, now we need to call this the reset sub procedure which we have written on module 1 on this user initialization. So just call reset. So very simple. Let's move to the FRM form, and again we need to call this procedure like the reset sub procedure on reset button. So just double click on reset button, and here we need to call the sub procedure that is reset. So let's dim I as VV message box result. So here I am declaring a variable to hold the user confirmation whether user wants to reset the form or not, right? So let's I is equal to msg box, and let's prompt do you want to reset the form. Okay, and we need to provide two different button over here, like so that user can select yes or no. So VV yes and no, and as we are asking questions, so that the icon should be VV question. Okay, and here the title should be confirmation. Okay, and let's check whether user has selected yes or no. So if I is equal to VV no, it means user doesn't want to reset this form. So if I is equal to VV no, then exit. So this particular line of code will terminate here and it will not move ahead. Suppose user has selected yes, then we need to call reset. Now let's move to FRM form. Let's run this form and let's put some value over here. You can see that all those designations which we have added in code are reflecting over here. So let's select any of the and here. Okay, so let's click on reset, and here it's asking getting confirmation from user, do you want to reset this form? Click yes. Now it has been cleared. Okay, so now the only one sub procedure is pending, and that is for transferring the data from Excel to Google Sheet. We will complete the coding after creating a Google Sheet and Google Form in Google Drive, right? This is all about the first part of the tutorial where we learned how to create form, write code, and add the required reference to our project to transfer data from Excel to Google Sheet. Okay, you can find the next part of the tutorial in description box. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Have a great day. Bye bye.